Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
We know how important your company is to the community.
Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
Thank you so much again for joining us on this week's edition of HTV Louisiana and Beyond.
And tonight we're going to wrap up our 3-week exploration of the Houma Navigation Canal Lock Complex in the best way and place possible, right at the location of the massive construction project, the largest ever in our area.
Our on-location interview featured 4 of the project's major players: Angela Hidalgo, Trey Middleton, both from the Levee District, Justin Lane from Sea Level, and Philip Chauvin from T. Baker Smith.
And that's all coming up on this week's episode of Louisiana and Beyond.
Louisiana and Beyond is brought to you in part by Edison Schwest Offshore, Bollinger Shipyards, Crosby Tugs LLC, Grand Isle Shipyard, Greater Lafourche Port Commission, Nichols State University, and Sea Level Construction.
Edison Schwest Offshore is more than a fleet. We're an interconnected network of vessels, logistics hubs, and a fast-growing workforce of over 19,000 dedicated professionals across the globe. From the United States to Brazil and the Middle East to Southeast Asia, Schwest provides cutting-edge solutions to a worldwide community. And in the face of evolving demands across the industry, we are committed to operating as the best in the world.
When it comes to marine towing, Crosby Tugs has over 40 years of experience. We have the know-how to safely assist ships into and out of their berths, escort oil tankers quickly and safely, tow ships, respond to fuel spills, and work in extreme conditions. Founded in 1977 by Vinton and Kurt Crosby, we are one of the largest privately owned marine transportation businesses in the industry. If it's on the water, let Crosby be your transporter.
At GIS, putting people first has always been our thing. As we always say, our people are our most important assets. With over 20 office locations, we deliver innovative solutions across 4 key markets: energy, industrial, infrastructure, and power. Our 4 main service groups house over 20 service capabilities, supporting projects from start to finish. We're proud of our legacy and even more excited about what's ahead.
Welcome to Bollinger Shipyards. For nearly a century, our family of skilled shipbuilders has driven innovation and excellence, creating some of the world's most advanced vessels. Today, we are at the forefront of our industry and redefining the future of naval warfare. At Bollinger, we turn challenges into opportunities and careers into legacies. Here, you're part of something bigger. Any yard can build a ship. We don't just build ships. Together, we're building the future.
In a world where you can choose to be anything, who do you choose to be? At Nichols State University, with over 70 distinct degree programs, we believe our students can be anything. Be an artist, a chef, a journalist, an educator, a lifesaver. But no matter what you choose to be a colonel. Be more at Nichols State University.
Welcome back to Louisiana and Beyond in our on-location interview at the HNC Lock Complex.
It's a construction site so large that to fully comprehend it, you have to see it with your own eyes. And that's exactly what we recently did, and Martin will kick things off.
Hello, everyone. What a beautiful day and a special day because we are on the Bubba Dove floodgate. And folks, I can't say this enough. You heard me say it before. If you're not on this floodgate, you can't really appreciate what goes into it. It's massive. The engineering on it's incredible. We have levee district representatives here today. They do a lot of work. We have sea level representatives today. T. Baker Smith, and I'm gonna let Lonnie get a couple of words in. He's going to introduce everybody. Then we're going to start the questioning today.
All right. Thank you, Martin. And joining us, as Martin said, first Angela Hidalgo, of course, who's the Executive Director of the Terrebonne Levee and Conservation District. Next to her is Trey Middleton, who is the Capital Projects Manager for the Levee District. Next to him, Justin Lane, who is the Municipal Division Manager for Sea Level Construction, and Mr. Philip Chauvin from T. Baker Smith. Thank you, all of you, for joining us on a hot summer day, second day of summer as it turns out, here at the HNC Lock. And Martin, one thing you were talking about the Bubba Dove, and Andrew, that could be a first quick question. The Bubba Dove per se, the actual structure is right behind, isn't it what we're looking at, maybe 30 yards right in front of us? But what we're standing on, is it really more the new HNC Lock Complex? So how would you identify where we're standing?
So we're standing on the Bubba Dove floodgate right now. The barge gate is right behind it, as you said. The new construction is going to be to our left. So that is the actual lock complex construction. This is the one that was built in 2011, and this is the one that closes for hurricanes as we are right now.
Folks, this just doesn't happen by itself. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of work that goes in it. But I want to come back with Angela, and we're going to work down the line. Angela, the amount of work that goes into this, it kind of blows my mind. You know, people who are around construction and who see it, and there's going to be a lot of people watching today, engineers, construction people. This is unbelievable. And just to see the point of view that we have and the amount of water that this is going to hold back, we understand why. But
this is a massive construction effort. This is one of the largest structures built in Louisiana by the non-federal sponsor, by the locals, not by the federal government or the Corps. So this is a $330 million structure, and it is funded by Restore Act dollars, which is BP money, fine money, oil spill money. So it's an environmental structure, and it's also a flood protection structure. So this is massive. And the team is unbelievable that's working on this, and it's all local.
Trey, let me ask you, because I know you get to fly the drones and see things as they take place and sort of watch it get built. From when we first saw this project, you know, take shape, it's kind of blow your mind that you get to see it piece by piece. And the massiveness of this whole thing is unbelievable.
It is what I call a mega project, in my opinion. You know, we had phase one, which was the initial dredging. Over 1 million cubic yards dredged, marsh creation, you know, hundreds of acres of mitigation. And then now you have phase two, which is in progress. Again, like Angela said, 330 million. I mean, you just don't see this every day down here in this area. And then eventually we're going to have phase three, which is going to be the rest of the structure, retrofitting the barge gate, retrofitting the structure to be able to withstand the upgrades to the barge gate, and then new walls to match the new height of what the lock is going to be.
Because we're looking straight down to HNC. We got a great angle right now. We almost see the Gulf. We can see it straight down. And so we're trying to imagine a Cat 4 coming right below us and that wall of water that would come up the nav. So you think, okay, what Philip just said, 23 feet, okay, that's going to stop the wall of water. But interestingly enough, the way this project was designed, engineered, approved, even for payment, that was actually not the primary reason for the structure. Am I saying that correctly?
Correct. So the barge gate was initially built for storm surge. For hurricanes only, it would operate for hurricanes. This is a federal waterway. We'd have to give notice to mariners and let them know that we're going to close the floodgate in anticipation of a hurricane. The lock complex, on the other hand, is an environmental structure. So it is funded by BP oil spill money, like we talked about earlier, but part of that is tied to the environmental component of the structure. So it stops the salt water from coming into our drinking water, it manages the fresh water and prevents it from going into the Gulf, and that way it nourishes our interior marshes, and we recognize all the environmental benefits of that.
Right, so like Angela mentioned, the Bubba Dove was designed and installed for flood protection. Storms come and we close it. The lock is going to be here to lock vessels in and out. So when the Bubba Dove is closed, when we're in that high salinity months, typically October through May, when we're in the low Mississippi River, that saltwater wedge can get further north, and it gets into the drinking supply in Houma. And so what the lock is going to do is still allow navigation, but block that saltwater from coming in. See, the Bubba Dove, when it's closed, it doesn't allow for navigation. It's closed. But the lock is going to allow vessels to constantly come in and out, whether it's closed, whether it's open, or what, at all times. And when the storm's coming, we have to close the Bubba Dove a day in advance. So people are still maybe trying to come in, maybe they didn't heed the warning, maybe it's a last minute deal. Well, the barge gate's closed, they can't come in, or they can't leave. With the lock, we're going to allow safe harbor and allow that navigation component to extend further as the storm is approaching.
In this past segment, we learned exactly what is the HNC Lock and its necessity to protect us here in South Louisiana.
And after the break, we'll find out more about who is building it and exactly what is a cofferdam. Stay with us on Louisiana and Beyond.
Sea Level Construction is a trusted heavy civil contractor delivering turnkey solutions to the Gulf South. From large-scale infrastructure and power distribution foundations to marine construction, driven piling, specialty foundations, structural fabrication, structural concrete, site development, heavy equipment maintenance, vessel repair, and inshore tugboat services. We also design and supply helical piles nationwide, delivering reliable foundation solutions. Call Sea Level Construction to set the foundation for your next project.
At GIS, putting people first has always been our thing. As we always say, our people are our most important assets. With over 20 office locations, we deliver innovative solutions across 4 key markets: energy, industrial, infrastructure, and power. Our 4 main service groups house over 20 service capabilities, supporting projects from start to finish. We're proud of our legacy and even more excited about what's ahead.
Welcome to Bollinger Shipyards. For nearly a century, our family of skilled shipbuilders has driven innovation and excellence, creating some of the world's most advanced vessels. Today, we are at the forefront of our industry and redefining the future of naval warfare. At Bollinger, we turn challenges into opportunities and careers into legacies. Here, you're part of something bigger. Any yard can build a ship. We don't just build ships. Together, we're building the future.
For more than 65 years, the Greater Lafourche Port Commission has been an important fixture in our community. From humble beginnings in 1960 to a modern-day cornerstone of global commerce, specializing in all things energy-related, we have worked alongside you, our neighbors, and partners to build a brighter and more prosperous tomorrow. Together, we have weathered storms, embraced innovation, and celebrated meaningful milestones. Here's to the past, present, and future of a thriving Lafourche and Louisiana.
Edison Schwest Offshore is more than a fleet. We're an interconnected network of vessels, logistics hubs, and a fast-growing workforce of over 19,000 dedicated professionals across the globe. From the United States to Brazil and the Middle East to Southeast Asia, Schwest provides cutting-edge solutions to a worldwide community. And in the face of evolving demands across the industry, we are committed to operating as the best in the world.
On any given day, close to 100 workers are on site at the HNC Lock Complex.
And leading that labor force is Thibodeaux-based Sea Level Construction.
You know, a small fact, when I started, I think the largest project that we had at that time was $1.4 million, and now we're at 320 and growing. So it's gone fast. We grew very fast, but it's been very productive, and Richard's created a very good name for the company over the years. And
Philip, let me ask you something. You're a local boy. You grew up not too far from where we're all standing right now. I remember talking to Angela about this a little while ago before we started filming, but if we were down here 5 years ago, let's say for 7 to 10 years ago, if let's say we've seen a lot of boats while we've been filming. Coast Guard just passed by, recreational fishermen, we saw a shrimp boat come by. If you're one of those guys, and this is say 10 years ago, and they're going down the canal right where we are right now, what would they have seen? I mean, we could clearly see what we see now, but what would have been here 10 years ago if that same boater was coming by?
10 years ago, we did have this structure in place. And you would see the Bubba Dove barge. The levee would not be as high as it is on the west side of us, nor on the east. What we've had in what's here now, what wasn't here that back then, on phase 1, we dredged over 1 million yards of mud from outside of the channel. In phase 2, we did another 500,000 yards of mud. And you go out, you build these retaining dikes, you pump this mud into it, and then the marsh grass grows. So we're recreating lost land that Mother Nature took. So that's helping the levee district with their mitigation requirements in building the levees, building the floodgate structures.
Let me ask you, Trey, regarding the cofferdam, we talked a little bit about it before, but just so we understand, if it's a couple of years from now and this thing is finished, again, let's say I'm on a boat, I'm coming up the canal right here. What am I going to see when I look right there where that massive cofferdam is now? Admittedly, it's technically below the sea. But am I going to see anything there 2 or 3 years from now and beyond?
What you're going to see there is a massive concrete wall with 2 55-foot diameter leaf gates, steel leaf gates that are going to open and close. Just like if you're familiar with the Boudreaux Canal sector gate, it's going to be that times 10.
Yeah. Wow. Now, coming off of that answer, Angela, let me ask you this. To go back on something I asked Philip a few minutes ago, instead of saying, hey, Philip, what did this look like 10 years ago? Let's instead go back, because I think Bubba Dove was 2012-ish.
Yeah, 2011, 2012.
Okay, let's go back, say, 20 years. Let's say we're now 20 years back. Again, if we're coming to the boat down here, would we have seen anything here in this exact location other than water and marsh and that's it?
No, you would not have seen anything out here 20 years ago. As a matter of fact, when I first started my career 25 years ago, I never thought I would be standing here today, much less witness the lock construction.
Over the course of time in Terrebonne Parish, even some of your predecessors in your position, Angela, Philip, this question's for you, is you've had a lot of legendary, have had and currently do have some engineers, as Martin talked about, who have been on our programs from going public to Louisiana and beyond. But T. Baker Smith, we think of Clifford Smith. And Papa Cliff, if that man were still here today, he's kind of I guess in a sense, kind of the godfather of this whole coastal engineering kind of thing that is the thing now in our area. Philip, if he were standing here today watching the construction of this, what would Clifford Smith say about all this?
He would be in awe. He would tell stories about working for his father and that this is one of the largest public works projects in South Louisiana, definitely in Terrebonne Parish. And he was an advocate for the Morganza to the Gulf system. And if he was here, he would be here every day coming just to take a look at it.
But we would have to beep a couple of words.
Yes. Yes.
And everybody out there knows that.
And now Kenny Smith is third generation owner of T. Baker Smith. And he calls this, big cool project. This is definitely one of the big cool projects for this area. And it is just the start of a lot more projects for this area, along with the Morganza to the Gulf system.
Well, I think this being the linchpin of the Morganza to the Gulf system checks all the right boxes, right? So it provides for navigation, it provides safe harbor, it provides environmental benefits, freshwater management. So all the boxes are checked. It's a massive community effort locally, super important. It's their tax dollars at work, and we're very, very proud to be a part of this.
No, Trey?
And I would also give a shout out to everyone who was involved in just this project coming to life. Gordy Dove was a big advocate for this. Tony Alford, our board president, our board, everybody there. But our partner at CPRA on this as well. Because the Restore Act money funnels through CPRA for this project. And so I think all those people also deserve recognition.
Justin?
I'm just proud that a local company is able to be able to construct something of this magnitude and come out here every day and see the progress and obviously look forward to the day when it's finished, when everybody can see the finished product and it gets put into service.
Yeah, it's impressive. All right, Philip?
One thing that to note is, we've been working on this project for 2 years, but this thing has been in design. The design started over 12 years ago. So we have been working on this diligently, and it's pretty cool to come out here every week and see the progress. When you first came out here, you didn't really see anything. Everything was below ground. Now we're coming up out the ground, out the water, and it's just taking shape. And it's going to be a magnificent structure once we're done.
The Lock Complex is over halfway through the 4-year construction timeline.
And after the break, what the project does for our local economy and how much water will it hold back?
Edison Schwest Offshore is more than a fleet. We're an interconnected network of vessels, logistics hubs, and a fast-growing workforce of over 19,000 dedicated professionals across the globe. From the United States to Brazil and the Middle East to Southeast Asia, Schwest provides cutting-edge solutions to a worldwide community. And in the face of evolving demands across the industry, we are committed to operating as the best in the world.
At GIS, putting people first has always been our thing. As we always say, our people are our most important assets. With over 20 office locations, we deliver innovative solutions across 4 key markets: energy, industrial, infrastructure, and power. Our 4 main service groups house over 20 service capabilities, supporting projects from start to finish. We're proud of our legacy and even more excited about what's ahead.
Welcome to Bollinger Shipyards. For nearly a century, our family of skilled shipbuilders has driven innovation and excellence, creating some of the world's most advanced vessels. Today, we are at the forefront of our industry and redefining the future of naval warfare. At Bollinger, we turn challenges into opportunities and careers into legacies. Here, you're part of something bigger. Any yard can build a ship. We don't just build ships. Together, we're building the future.
When it comes to marine towing, Crosby Tugs has over 40 years of experience. We have the know-how to safely assist ships into and out of their berths, escort oil tankers quickly and safely, tow ships, respond to fuel spills, and work in extreme conditions. Founded in 1977 by Vinton and Kurt Crosby, we are one of the largest privately owned marine transportation businesses in the industry. If it's on the water, let Crosby be your transporter.
Sea Level Construction is a trusted heavy civil contractor delivering turnkey solutions to the Gulf South. From large-scale infrastructure and power distribution foundations to marine construction, driven piling, specialty foundations, structural fabrication, structural concrete, site development, heavy equipment maintenance, vessel repair, and inshore tugboat services. We also design and supply helical piles nationwide, delivering reliable foundation solutions. Call Sea Level Construction to set the foundation for your next project.
A $330 million construction project is quite a boost for the local economy.
Well, they say Rome wasn't built in a day, and as you might imagine, the HNC Lock Complex wasn't exactly built overnight either.
Yeah, I mean, this project, we're roughly 2 years into the 4-year contract. It's currently ahead of schedule. We average anywhere between 60 and 80 employees out here every day. To see the amount of work that's taken place over the last 2 years, especially in the last 6 months, because a lot of the work that we've done in the last 6 months is actually above the water, and people can start seeing the magnitude and the size of this project. It's been great, for the local economy. We got that many people down here in this area. A lot of these employees are visiting the local establishments for lunch and their snacks and all the different things, and it's injected a huge revenue stream into the local area just because of the proximity to the site and the remoteness of it. it's been a great project so far, and you know, with us being a local contractor, we're obviously very proud to be a part of it, and looking forward to, you know, finishing it the next
Y'all
2
doing
years.
a great job. And Philip, I'm going to come to you because, you know, the amount of concrete that people pour and the amount of work that people do when you come on here is kind of humbling, because, you know, most people are building a small project or they building a driveway. When you come out here and you see the concrete already poured and what's going to be poured, most important question I'm going to ask you today is, and what people want to know, how much water will this thing hold? How much volume will it hold? And maybe describe it in height, like how much can the whole wall hold?
The new floodgate is designed to a plus 23-foot elevation. So a 23-foot wall of water, you know, it'll hold that. It's overtopping. It's got to be more than 23 foot high. And the structure itself, to come out here and see it, you know, everything you see until you walk on the structure, it's below ground. You know, we've got 2 cofferdams out here that's 260 foot by about 180 foot, and it's down dewatered to originally to a minus 32 foot. So yeah, dirt down 32 foot above the water surface, and we put 2 foot of stone, 4 foot of trimmy concrete, and now we're going in with a 9 foot thick foundation slab on top of 200 linear foot long pilings, and we got a massive amount of steel. So it's all, you know, it's humbling. You don't know really the size of this project until you look down, and actually if you go down in the bottom and look up, it's mind-blowing.
There you have it. This is unbelievable, folks, to come out here and witness this. And, you know, until you actually hear, you know, I'm not inviting everybody here. You can't just come up here and get on the catwalk, but we're trying to give you a good idea of what's taking place. This is unbelievable. It's a lot of work. And so when you run into people like this that are looking out for your best interest, maybe a little extra thank you, because they put a lot of work in trying to correct some problems that we've been seeing on air for over 40 years. And I always said our goal is to not see any homes flooded in hurricane. Our goal now, not to see any homes flooded from rain. That's a whole nother deal. But the whole idea is to keep people safe. And I see us moving in a great direction with flood control. And Lonnie, I know you would agree with that.
Absolutely. I mean, we've learned a lot in the last years. We've put together this Louisiana Beyond program that's not just local, it's really statewide, because there are a bunch of levee districts. You know, what Angela and Trey and them do is they're one of more than a dozen in the state of Louisiana who do it. But it happens to turn out, not because I'm literally standing next to them over a deep body of water, but I'm going to say this whether they hear or not, they deserve a tremendous amount of credit, because anybody you talk to in this world, in the state of Louisiana, they look at the Terrebonne Levee and Conservation District, just if for nothing else, what Angela and Tony and Reggie and a whole lot of other people and Gordy, what they did, you know, a decade or two back, just to get Morganza kicked off. I mean, you talk about humble beginnings, Martin. What they did to get Morganza going, and now to look at what they've already constructed. Now, land bridges are coming. Wow. We're in good shape in Terrebonne Parish.
And Philip's dad.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, exactly. We can go back to the old timers and talk about it. So we've seen quite a few people come.
Absolutely. So it is impressive. It's amazing what we have learned. And it's awesome after almost a year of doing that one particular program to actually be standing where I'm standing right now. And to see this from my own eyes. And is it bigger than I thought it was? Yep. A whole lot bigger. This is a massive, massive project. It is impressive.
How many years now?
Been 25 years.
Yep. Just wanted to make sure we got it, because while all those guys were walking around, Angela was a steady all the way through. And you're right, Lonnie. They look at Terrebonne and Lafourche and all these areas. And if anybody wants a model on how to build levees and how to build structures, it's our area that they come to. I want to thank you all for joining us. Great job, great insight. And I'd like to do another show in a few months and show some progress. So Thank you so much for joining us for this 3-week look of the HNC Lock Complex.
And thank you to our sponsors, our guests, and our coastal experts across the state. See you next week on HTB's Louisiana and Beyond.
Louisiana and Beyond is brought to you in part by Edison West Offshore, Bollinger Shipyards, Crosby Tugs LLC, Grand Isle Shipyard, Greater Lafourche Port Commission, Nichols State University, and Sea Level Construction.